What if the fiercest warriors of two ancient worlds were not so different beneath their armor and codes? Imagine the haunting clash of steel echoing across desert sands and misty mountain valleys. The air thick with sweat, incense, and the metallic tang of blood. On one side, 1,000 unyielding Persian Immortals, the living heart of an empire whose shadow stretched from the Nile to the Industry. On the other, the samurai warriors cloaked in honor, whose katana sliced through the dawn mist of feudal Japan. Two forces, separated by oceans and centuries, yet bound by a singular pursuit: immortality, not of flesh, but of spirit and legacy. What secrets lie buried in their steel? What truths hide behind the legends? Tonight, we journey through time and culture to unearth the hidden ties between Persia's legendary immortals and Japan's elite samurai. Origins of the immortal spirit, from Persia's heart to Japan's sacred hills. What does it mean to be truly immortal? Is it the endless march of soldiers, unbroken, unyielding, or the quiet forging of a code that outlives empires? In the scorching heart of ancient Persia, beneath a sky heavy with the dust of conquest, 1,000 warriors stood as one, each a single thread woven into the unbreakable fabric of empire. They were called the Immortals not because they never fell, but because their ranks never thinned. When one fell, another stepped forward instantly, as if death itself was powerless to touch them. Their armor clinked like the steady beat of a heartbeat, their eyes burning with the fierce loyalty of 1,000 suns. This was a force born from the vastness of a world-spanning empire, crafted to embody unity amidst diversity, strength forged from relentless discipline. Far across the sea, beneath the whispering cedars and blooming sakura of Japan's mist-shrouded hills, a different immortality took shape. Here, the samurai rose not as a regiment, but as a brotherhood bound by honor and an unyielding code, Bushido. Each warrior a solitary flame, burning bright with fierce pride, sharpened by years of discipline, strategy, and an intimate dance with death. Where the immortals marched as a living wall, the samurai moved like shadows, fluid, unpredictable, their blades singing silent oaths to ancestors long past. Their immortality was not in numbers, but in spirit, a lineage of souls committed to perfection in both war and life. And yet, despite the oceans and millennia between them, these warriors shared a strange kinship, each shaped by the relentless demands of loyalty, mastery, and survival. In a world where empires rise and crumble like dust on the wind, what does it mean to be immortal? Arms and armor, the language of war. What stories do weapons whisper? The Persian Immortals were clad in iron and bronze scales that shimmered under the harsh sun, helmets hiding faces to strike fear and conceal the man beneath the warrior. Their short spears thrust with precision, their bows loosed arrows that darkened the skies like storm clouds. Their akonakes, a curved sword, sang a deadly melody in close combat, a harmony of brutality and elegance. Across the Pacific, the samurai's armor gleamed with lacquer and silk, layered to catch arrows and blades alike. The katana, slender, curved, a blade forged through fire and water, was more than a weapon. It was an extension of the warrior's soul. It moved with grace and lethal efficiency, a whispered promise of death to any who dared cross its path. One forged for disciplined ranks, the other for individual mastery. The Immortals fought as a wave, impenetrable and endless. The samurai, a storm, unpredictable, swift, and devastating. Their weapons reflected their worlds: the vast imperial unity of Persia, the intimate, philosophical rigor of Japan. When steel meets steel, whose story will be written in blood? The battlefields they shaped, the land itself remembers. The Immortals stood firm at Thermopylae's narrow pass, facing 300 Spartans whose names would echo through eternity. Their empire's breath caught in the clash, an empire whose reach stretched from the fertile banks of the Euphrates to the shimmering coasts of the Mediterranean. They marched through deserts, across rivers, in endless campaigns of conquest and defense. In Japan, samurai battled on mountain ridges draped in mist, their war cries mingling with the roar of waterfalls. Civil war was their constant companion, clan against clan in a dance of strategy and blood. Yet through this chaos emerged order, the shogunate's iron grip on a fractious land. Where Persia's immortals fought for the expansion of an empire, samurai fought for survival and honor within a fragile balance of power. Both shaped history's course, one on a grand scale of continents, the other through the intimate fracture lines of family and loyalty. Code and conduct, honor beyond death. Loyalty, sacrifice, death, woven together like threads in an unbreakable tapestry. The Persian immortals answered only to their king and the will of Ahura Mazda, the god who breathed life into their empire. Their discipline was ironclad. Betrayal was met with swift death. They embodied unity, a human shield for a civilization vast beyond imagining. The samurai embraced Bushido, the way of the warrior, a code that demanded courage, respect, honor, and above all, death before disgrace. To live without honor was worse than death itself. The ritual of seppuku, the warrior's final act, was both penance and proclamation. In these codes, warriors found purpose and a cage. Stories abound of Persian soldiers who chose death over dishonor, and samurai lords who faced betrayal with cold resolve. Their lives were sacrifices on the altar of empire and clan. But what price does absolute loyalty demand of the human heart? Rituals of war and peace. Before battle, the air thrummed with the sacred. The immortals prepared with solemn rites, offerings to Ahura Mazda, the beating of drums, the scent of cedar burning thick in the dry wind. Their souls steeled in ritual, as much spiritual as practical, transforming men into instruments of divine will. The samurai sought harmony before chaos. Meditation, tea ceremonies, and calligraphy forged the spirit as surely as the forge shaped their swords. War was art, a balance of body, mind, and soul, a conversation with death that demanded grace. In these rituals, fear gave way to purpose, and the warrior transcended mere mortality. How does the sacred become a weapon? Women and the immortal legacy. Beyond the battlefield, the invisible warriors wielded subtle power. In Persia, royal women like Queen Atassa shaped empire from behind velvet curtains. Their influence was a quiet tide, molding kings and armies alike. They were the keepers of culture and the breath behind immortal legacies. In Japan, the Onibugeisha, female samurai, defied conventions with sword in hand, defending homes and honor. Tomo Guzen's name still whispers through the bamboo forests, a testament to courage unbound by gender. Their stories reveal a truth often lost in war's thunder. Immortality is a legacy carried by many hands, not just those on the front line. What strength lies hidden in the shadows of history? The enduring mythos, immortality beyond time. Empires crumble, kingdoms fall. Yet the immortals and samurai endure in stories, in spirit, in memory. The Persian immortals echo in the symbolism of modern armies, their discipline an archetype of relentless loyalty. The samurai inspire reverence for discipline, honor, and the eternal quest for perfection. Their legends blur history and myth, a reminder that immortality is not given. It is earned through sacrifice, discipline, and the stories we pass down. Today, reenactors don armor and katana, breathing life into ancient tales, as if to touch immortality themselves. What is left when the swords fall silent? Conclusion: two worlds apart, yet bound by an immortal thread. The Persian immortals and the samurai are more than warriors. They are reflections of humanity's deepest struggles: loyalty and honor, mastery and sacrifice, empire and identity. Their stories compel us to look beyond the clash of steel, to the eternal human questions writ large upon history's canvas. What does it mean to live with honor? To face death with courage? To become immortal, not through blood alone, but through spirit and legacy. As we close this chapter of ancient valor, we carry forward the echo of their footsteps, whispering still, through the sands of Persia and the forests of Japan, a timeless testament to the immortal human spirit.